Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming, and here we are back in Watch Dogs Legion, and you can probably guess that we're very near the River Thames. The clue will be that the River Thames is that thing in the background with all the water, and there in the background is the London Eye, so that means we're on the north bank of the Thames looking across to the south side. Anyway, so today I wanted to make a video about something that's come up quite a few times in games I've been playing, actually not on PlayStation but on Steam and on PC, and I play quite a lot of games on PC as well, although I don't do PC games on the channel. I actually might at some point in the future, I'm thinking about it. But anyway, so something that's come up quite often in games I play, and I play a lot of turn-based games on PC, I play them on PlayStation as well, is the fact that lots of games get called XCOM-like, basically because they've got turn-based combat, and that seems to be almost any game that's got turn-based combat, somewhere they call it XCOM-like, just because XCOM has turn-based combat. So something I wanted to make a distinction about is, and I think it's quite an important distinction, is that turn-based XCOM-like combat is a very specific thing. It's not just turn-based combat. There are plenty of games with turn-based combat. Lots of CRPGs, which I played on this channel, like Pathfinder is one. And other games I haven't, like the ones I've been playing on PC. So I've been playing Colony Ship, if you know that, Stellar Tactics, Rogue Trader. I played Divinity Original Sin on the channel a while back, so that's another. All those games are turn-based, but they're not what I call tactical turn-based, and they're not XCOM-like. The games that I would say are XCOM-like are games like Necromunda, Phantom Doctrine, and for PC, Cyber Knight's Flashpoint. Cyber Knight's Flashpoint is another game I played recently, and I say that's XCOM-like. And I'll tell you the distinction between the two, and I think it's a big distinction. What I call XCOM-like, which is very specific to what XCOM turn-based strategy is, and the strategy part of it's very important as well, is you have a situation where you have your agents, your mercs, your team, whatever you are playing in the game, and they are independent from each other. And what I mean by that is each one can go wherever they want in a generally large map, whether it's just in a building, but it's a large building, or an area, as in XCOM, as in Phantom Doctrine, and they can go anywhere independently. They can carry out a specific part of a mission, whether it's to take out a guard, steal something, independently of the rest. And if it's combat, they can circle around or go where they want while the others are in combat and take part from a different angle. That is number one what XCOM turn-based combat is, and it's also tactical because you have the option to move around the area you're in and tactically work out where you want to place your soldiers, mercs, whatever, agents, and sometimes you may not want to engage them all in the combat straight away, and that can be tactical as well. So the difference between those and Colony Ship and Stellar Tactics and Rogue Trader and Pathfinder and Divinity Original Sin and other CRPGs, etc., is that those games, all your party move around in a group, in a little huddle, and anything that happens to them all. So I'll go with Pathfinder and Divinity Original Sin because I played them on the channel, and one of the things I didn't really like about them generally is that all your little group walk around in a little huddle, and anything that happens, if they start in combat, they're all in a little huddle all together, and really, other than maybe moving one slightly to one side, that's how they end up. The same with, and you may not know these games if you don't play PC games, but Colony Ship and Rogue Trader, which is on PC, PlayStation 5 actually, and Stellar Tactics, which you may or may not know. All those games, you walk around again in a little group, and the combat takes place in a small room or a small space, and all your agents, mercs, soldiers, whatever, are in that space, and they all take place in the same combat at the same time. You can't really decide to do anything tactical, you can't move them anywhere further away. In many of those cases, you're literally standing behind chairs and fighting across a room. So there's not the same, well, there's not any tactical gameplay in that, because you walk into an area, and even in Pathfinder Kingmaker and those games, you walk into an area and the combat is right in front of you. It's not like XCOM or Phantom Doctrine when you can pick when you want that to happen at all. And all your agents, mercs, whatever, are all involved in the combat straight away. So I think it's a really big difference, and I think when people call games XCOM-like, just because they have turn-based. They really need to think about what XCOM is. And I think the absolute specific thing to XCOM turn-based tactical play is that you have your soldiers and they can move independently of each other over a large area, and you can decide where to put them. You can place your sniper in one place, you can place your rangers in another place, you can send someone, a ranger, further around behind everybody else to complete the mission and go and hack them, whatever, without even engaging in the fight, especially if they've got the ability to be a phantom, which you get in XCOM. But anyway, that's an XCOM specific. But if you've played XCOM, any of those games I mentioned as the XCOM-like games, you'll understand what I mean. And I think that is a tactical turn-based game. The others are turn-based, but they're not XCOM-like, and they're not really tactical, because I very much question how anything can be tactical in a game like Pathfinder or Rogue Trader or any of those games. And I'm not saying I don't like any of those games, I like Rogue Trader a lot. But how that any of those can be tactical when all you do is walk into an area and you're immediately faced with combat, and all your soldiers, troops, whatever, are involved in the combat straight away. That's not very tactical. The only tactical thing you can really do is decide what to arm them with and what grenades or buffs you want to put on them before you walk into the actual mission areas. But once you're in the combat, there's nothing else you can do. Oh yeah, there's little tactical decisions in the combat, but it's a completely different kind of thing. Anyway, it's just something I wanted to mention, because I've seen that so many times on Steam recently, where games are described as XCOM-like, and I don't buy them because they are, because I already know they're not going to be, because I know what lots of these games are. You watch the little trailers and you see what the combat's going to be, and I thought, no, that's not XCOM. Lots of people running around in little groups together, that's not XCOM-like. That's turn-based combat, but that's not XCOM-like. Anyway, that's just all I wanted to say. Like I said, it's something that I've thought about quite a lot recently, and it comes up on PlayStation, it comes up on Steam a lot, and I think it's a very big distinction. Anyway, thanks for watching Guessagaingaming. Till next time, take care for now.